She has sold out shows at the Canberra Comedy Festival and was nominated for Best in Comedy at the 2023 Sydney Fringe Festival. Sarah is currently working on a solo show. Please welcome Sarah Stewart.
Hello everyone. I have no idea how I can follow that series. Oh God, makes my story look extremely goodness anyway. Just wonderful, thank you so much. Look, I'm not altogether sure what my mistake is or what the mistake was, so I'm going to tell you my story and I'll let you decide. Now, I'm married to Mark, he's at the back there. We met when I was a nursing student at a party in a nurse's home. My parents didn't approve of him because they thought he was a bit of a wild boy. You'd never think so to look at him now. But I always fancied that about him, as well as his bum. And much to my mother's surprise, we're celebrating our 40th wedding anniversary next year, unless he divorces me after this story. We've got 2 kids. Ellen is a nurse living in Townsville. When she was younger, she travelled the world. She did a tiki tour as well. And at one point, she ran out of money in Edinburgh. So she got a job working as a nurse aide in an old people's home. Not only did she absolutely love it and decide she wanted to be a nurse, she discovered she had a passion for working with the elderly who have dementia, which is great news for me now that I'm on the wrong side of 60. Andrew is a carpenter in Canberra. He was always a bit of a cheeky chappy. He'd have the most terrible tantrums that did my head in. But other times he'd get into bed with me and cuddle up, and I never wanted those moments to end. We are English. I'm told I've still got a bit of an accent. And we emigrated from England to New Zealand in 1996. Now, the move to New Zealand wasn't easy. We did it because we thought we could provide a better life for the kids. But it was hard. We had no family or friends in New Zealand. Mark struggled to get a job and ended up as a petrol pump attendant. To his credit, he hung in there because he could see that the rest of us were starting to settle and find our feet. As for me, I was trying to keep my family together through this huge upheaval. I had a very busy job as a community midwife. I was on call pretty much 24/7. It was a wonderful job, but not without its challenges and stresses. I was also studying for a master's degree in midwifery. I didn't have much time to think of myself as a woman. I was horribly overweight, probably drank a little bit too much New Zealand wine. But I've never been one to worry about life's luxuries or be hankering after the next big thing or brand. All I've ever wanted is for my family to be happy, healthy, and safe. Now, after a couple of years of hard work and saving, we had enough money to treat ourselves to a family holiday. So we set off to every Kiwi family's dream family location, the Gold Coast and the theme parks. Yay! We were all so excited, oh my God. I'd lost some weight, which made me very happy. I'd even splashed out on some new clothes, especially for the trip. I had a blue blouse, this new blue blouse I felt really good in, even I have to say a little sexy. And for the first time in ages, I felt happy and confident with my appearance. We were going to have the best family holiday. The day arrived for our trip to Dreamworld. We had a brilliant morning, we were loving life as a family. No tantrums, tears or arguments, nothing but fun. And eventually it was lunchtime, so we decided to treat ourselves to burger and chips. Now we sat down at the table with a pile of fast food in front of us, and I picked up a sachet of tomato sauce to put on my fries. Now I couldn't quite work out how to open it. And Mark said, "You have to bend back to the 2 edges and squeeze," which is what I did. But instead of a gentle trickle of tomato sauce wafting on my chips, the sachet exploded like a high school science experiment that's gone horribly wrong, all over my beautiful new blouse. I looked like Jack Ripper had just walked by and stabbed me in the chest. I was absolutely devastated. You know what tomato sauce is like, don't you? It stains. I'll never get it out. My beautiful, new, sexy, expensive blouse was ruined. My holiday was ruined. My life was ruined. But then, something far, far worse happened. My darling family, my beautiful 8-year-old Andrew, red hair covered in freckles and a gap because his front teeth had fallen out. My Ellen, who at 10 years old was starting to turn into a gorgeous young woman. Mark, my rock and my love for so many years. They all laughed. They all laughed their heads off. They roared and they roared. Look at Mummy! Can't you follow simple instructions? Oh, silly Mummy! Not a, are you okay? What can I do to help? Can I get you another sauce? Turns out the tomato sauce wasn't the only thing that was capable of exploding. I was so upset I couldn't make up my mind what to do. Burst into tears, scream at the top of my voice, throw the plate at them. Everything I did for them. All the cooking, all the cleaning, going to their boring bloody netball matches every bloody Saturday. When all I wanted to do was put my feet up and read 50 Shades of Grey. They didn't love me. They didn't appreciate me. I was just a living housekeeper. Andrew took off and got on the roller coaster. He refused to get off because he was laughing so much he was afraid what I was going to do to him. It was an hour before he felt safe enough to get down. Ellen tried to play peacemaker, but it was too late. She was in my grudge book and stayed there for years. And Mark said, oh, it's just a little stain. Well, it's just a little dick, but you don't hear me keep going on about it. So what do you think was the mistake? Not listening to my mum all those years ago, throwing away my birth control pills, going to Dreamworld with the family when I should have gone to bloody Fiji on my own. I think the mistake is that to this day, not one of my family understands why I got upset. It's the burden that women carry. We have so many roles: wife, lover, mother, carer, worker. But sometimes our loved ones make the mistake of taking us for granted. They forget that we have feelings, that we are people in our own right. But for the most part, we're very resilient. We have to be, because everyone relies so heavily on us. But every now and again, that precarious balance of our lives tips too far the wrong way, and the straw breaks the camel's back. Or tomato sauce causes a Third World War. The joy of this story is that over 20 years later, that incident is in our top 3 family stories. You know, the stories that get told and retold and become part of family lore. You got them in your family? Yeah. And even I remember it with fondness. Well, just about. And whatever ups and downs we have, the arguments, the fallings out, living at opposite ends of the country, different countries at times, rarely being in the same place at the same time. For all that, we are always family. And when I eventually drop dead, and the kids are writing my eulogy, leaning on the coffin, I know that Ellen and Andrew will look at each other and say, do you remember the time when? And I live on in their memories and love.